Greetings, folks. So this is a Reiki share for the Emerald Dragon Reiki Oregon Collective. Anybody that's got one of those pyramids that I sent out, either purchased or otherwise. I want to say I will send out well, I'm sending out this Reiki share across the world right now because this is for ritual abuse. Is the theme of today. We did pull a couple cards from the Starseed Oracle, and we'll go over those. We're going to go over an SRA article, and I've already established the Reiki share. This is the second time I've done this video. I was getting ready to rename it, I think I got ritual of something, and boom, it was gone. So I may have to name it something different just to get it to load onto my bloody computer. I don't know. It's pretty strange. It's damn strange. So anyway, we've got, I guess I'll go over the cards just a little bit here, the two cards that we've got here from the Starseed. And we've got Lost Lands. I think that's the one right there. And the other one is Lifting the Veil, which we're going to be doing a little bit of that. Actually, when I think about it, Lost Lands, you would think of Atlantis and Lemuria. Let's go to that article though first. Then we'll get into the cards a little bit later in the show. Okay, here we are. We've got a pentagram, a pentacle. Pentacle is the Wiccan name for that. I will call it a pentacle because we're looking at it from the top going down. So this is spirit, and that's the four directions on the lower four arms of this pentacle or pentagram. So that's when it's inverted, that's satanic, and this article is about that kind of abuse. Let's see, it says here, ritual abuse as defined by the Ritual Abuse Task Force is brutal form of abuse of children addressed adolescents and adults. Right. So consisting of physical, sexual, and psychological abuse, and involving the use of rituals, which is pretty easy to do. The ritual is anything that has, basically, it's like you're telling a story. You're setting up a working, is what it sometimes is called, that you're going to do in a specific way. Like you're going to cast a circle. You're going to call in the forces that you want to work with. Then you're going to do something within the circle, or if you're summoning something, you might make a triangle outside of the circle to contain that entity, especially if it's something that's you're a little worried about. The purpose of SRA is to indoctrinate the victim into satanic beliefs and practices. Ritual abuse is a repeated over and over, no doubt is what that's going to say, extended period of and may involve rape. The victims are groomed to participate because of the coercive nature of the abuse, I'm going to say, of the group. People feel as if they are hostage. They get the Stockholm syndrome because it's long enough that they get that psychological, oh, I defend the one that abuses me, right? Because it is kind of, I mean, if it's sexual abuse, then it's got this pain and pleasure thing going on in it, right? It's pretty insidious, really, when you think about it, especially when it's being done to children. And so basically, in my mind, children are any adult, any person under the age of 24. And the why of that is because of the fact that the human brain doesn't mature until you're 24. You don't have your full mature adult brain until you're 24. You can still F up pretty badly before then, especially if you're being ritually abused on a regular basis. So I mean, they don't kill all of them, but they do kill some of them, right? This is it's wrong any way you look at it, because you're taking young people. I'm hearing from the age of 5 and even younger. I've been involved in these things, and creating these altars, creating demonic influences within the child. Creating psychological liars out of them. The Stockholm syndrome, I'll lie to protect the person that's abusing me, that's kidnapped me, that's abducted me, and doing these horrible things to me, painful things. I mean, folks, this is just so bloody bad. I don't know. I mean, I just don't know what to say. Well, I do know what to say. Stop. Just stop doing it. And if you're young and you're being groomed for this, recognize the signs of it. That are they showing you porn? Are they talking about your body parts? Are they talking about changing your sexual nature? Are they talking about any of this stuff? These are all signs of grooming. So what Disney was doing with its movies that it's selling to our kids, right? Disney is a kids channel, right? But they're talking about transgender and LGBTQ. And these are adult things. I mean, if you're an adult and you want to play around with the stuff, I'm okay with it. But like I said, maybe the caveat that you got to be 24 before you can participate in these kind of weird. No, I call them weird. I mean, and this is somebody coming from a pagan, right? Or somebody that's I was a pagan for a while. I was baptized Christian, but I explored other things. I realized that the church is full of dogma and abuse. I'm gonna say. So the Catholic Church engages in ritual, satanic ritual abuse, because that surely isn't anything coming from Source. Source does not condone this behavior. This is not of the light as far as it's concerned. Not that it's judging you in any way, shape, or form. You're on this planet in order to explore the dynamics of a third dimensional life. How we go about it, it's just fine with them. It's you're sent in with a certain missions. You don't have to follow those missions. You might have to come back and reincarnate if it's something that you contract that you really wanted to do. My contract here is to help all you, and I'm finding it really difficult because a lot of you don't want help. You don't see any problem with where you're at. You think, oh, I'm just fine taking an experimental shot. I'm just fine with my kid acting weird and telling lies and playing with themselves and stuff like that. I'm fine with all that, No, you shouldn't be fine with that. You should be looking for the signs. You should be aware of who's around your children, who's playing with them, who's what's going on with them. How are they doing? That's something everybody should be taking care of your kids. If you're looking after them, then you're more likely to catch these things early on, right? So, yeah, I suppose that's a lot to kind of digest right there. Just that this is something that's going on, and it goes on not only for children, very small children. I'm hearing, I mean, babies even. This is insane stuff that's going on. This is kind of why they're in California. They want to make beyond the birth abortions and make those legal. This is the Satanic Church is going to be just overjoyed with that one. Yeah, we'll make the stuff that we do legal so that we can just do it out in public, or we don't have to go underground to do it. But this is where the images of hell comes from. It's from this kind of shit right here, that kind of ritual abuse, the demonic kind. The devil is in the details on that one, right? It's some bad juju there, bad energy, and we're sending healing to the abused and the abusers. because they're all sick people. You have to be pretty damn sick to do that to a child. Something happened to you that makes you like that. So this thing goes back, way back, back to the age of Aquarius. Excuse me, the age of Atlantis. In the end, this was happening. We were doing all sorts of things against the will of the people that were doing the beings that came in. They were being bred with animals. There's all sorts of things that we were doing back then, in the fall, that were happening back then in the fall. So, are we here again? Are we repeating a pattern here? Well, I hope not. This is what I would send energy to stopping at this point in time. Now we call on all you to do the same. Say no more. Pray. Send energy healing to these people so that this stops. This evil, this sickness is healed. This darkness is transformed into light. That the veil is lifted off of these people and that they are seen for what they are: pedo rapists, murderers, psychopaths. There's all sorts of words I could throw at them here, but they're still people, right? They're all people doing this shit to other people. Why? What is there any? You have to question within yourself. Is there anything within me that would be okay with that? And I can't really see that in myself, that I would ever be okay with that. Not to say I haven't been a killer before, and that's though. Even when I was a Viking and I was coming in a raid, mostly we were raiding the Catholic Church because of Constantine. That's the biggest reason that we were fighting, raiding England and Brittany and all those places, because they declared war on us. We fought back, and we were pretty good at it for quite a while, a couple centuries anyway. So I've probably lived lives on both sides of this issue, is what I'm hearing here. And this is why really both sides need healing, because both are victims in a way. They're a victim of the training that they received because they were born into a satanic ritual, a satanic family that does these kind of ritual abuses. And so they keep on the traditions of the coven. This is what my dad did, so I can do it. Instead of being like me, who, even though I did some of the things that my dad did, I kind of saw the error of my ways and tried to change those things in my later years. I'm not like my dad is in his later years. He's still, caught up in the ritual of the the God, Yahweh, that God, the God of judgment, the one that's sent plagues and crap like that down on earth. This would be Enlil. of the Sumerians. So yeah, I mean, this is an old thing that needs to be stopped, especially if we're going to move up into 5D, as Greg would like to say. And we are moving into fourth density, or firmly into 4D, because the veil is being lifted. These things have been seen. I mean, even though they're hidden, they're not. They're being exposed. They're being unocculted. Light is being shined on them. They're no longer in the dark. They're no longer secrets. These are known things. They're doing these things. They're not the bulk of the pagan community. It's only a small sect of a small sect, right? So the pagan community is maybe worldwide in numbers in the millions. I guess if you can include the Hindus, it gets into the billions, but mostly, and then it's only about 1 or 2% of that. But it doesn't take very many to fuck up a whole bunch of people, folks. It really doesn't. Just look at the men that get us into wars. It doesn't take very many of them to do it. And they've got us in. They're trying to get us into it. And this is the devil's work too, right? This is a ritual abuse in a way, because we declare a war. We declare something. We set out our intent, and we send forces in to carry out our intent. So, and anytime we're taking life, this is a ritual thing. It's a bad thing, right? We all sort of agree on that, I think. Especially if you're talking about a human sentient being, or any sentient being in my book, and that includes most mammals in my book. So yeah, we got a ways to go, folks. This is the artifice that we've got to let go of. These things are unaligned with our psyche, as the cards say here. Let's come back, and we will. We'll look at this card. What does it have to say here? Lifting the veil. Question everything. Anything unaligned must go. And that's an appropriate card for today's Reiki show. Let's let go of this satanic, this SRA. We don't need that no more. Lost Lambs is the other card. Soul memories and gifts. You've done this before. Well, I even kind of spoke to that, right? That I may have had past lives where I've probably been on both sides of this issue, because I have a pretty strong feeling that it's wrong. And how would I have that feeling that it's wrong? It's probably because I've had that experience. I certainly have seen pedophilia. In my youth, we were subjected to it, not sure whether we call it ritualistic, but it's well, it's ritual in the essence that it's you keep it to yourself. You've got to be quiet about this. Don't tell anybody. This is something special in between us, or however they do that. However they groom the person that they're about to abuse. So I send healing to anybody that's had that particular issue happen to them, but most especially to the SRA victims and their perpetrators. That this can stop. This should stop. This has got to stop before we can move our vibration or move ourselves, lift the veil off of this, and then we need to rise above it. Right? We need to become better than that. More true to our divine purpose is what we need to be. More true to our divine purpose, and pray for these people. Send healing to them because they're sick. They need help. They need to stop these addictions, these obsessions that they have to do these rituals. Because it's one thing if adults get together and have sex with each other. That's one thing. I'm not going to say too much about that, but SRA can happen even to adults. They can become victims of this, sacrificed indeed. And there's all sorts of problems with that, diseases that come from that. There's well, and it's a perversion of magic, really. It is, when I think about it, big time. It's a big time perversion of everything that's sacred in our world, right? That's the way I kind of feel like. That's what I'm being told is that it needs to stop, and the sooner we stop it, the better off we're going to be. The better our kids are going to be, and I definitely send the healing most especially to the children that are being messed up with this stuff, that are being groomed, and that grooming stop, or that they're aware of it, and they say, tell somebody, that they run away, that they tell them, hell no, you're not going to do that to me, and fight. Kids, I'm going to say that's one thing. If some adult in your family, your mother, your father, your brother, your sister, your aunt, your uncle, I don't give a shit, granddad, grandmother, doesn't matter. Somebody is doing that crap to you, kick, scratch, punch, whatever you got to do to get away from it. And you may not win that battle, but it's better to go down that way than to be have your soul perverted into doing that to somebody else. And they even, they do that to them too. It's it talked about psychological abuse. Well, that's the psychological abuse. Is they bring their kids in and make them witness this stuff too. And so, it programs the child to think that that's okay, that that's the way we do things. That's the reality that we're in. And it shouldn't be the reality that we're in. It should have nothing to do with our reality. We should be more loving, kind, and compassionate. I know that's kind of like kind of lame, but yeah, maybe. Alrighty, so I can kind of see that maybe that I needed to do it twice, because this is twice as long that I've been doing this Reiki on this thing, and it's starting to feel like maybe it's either I'm getting no, it's still flowing, the energy's still flowing, not quite as much as I did it in the first video, but it is flowing. So yeah, it's a tough thing, folks. Not a nice subject, I gotta admit. But I felt I can't remember where it was put into my mind. It was a recent video by Nicholas Benmanen, something like that. Nicholas. But anyway, he interviewed somebody that's supposedly got access to Trump, or intelligence anyway, regarding this, this ritual abuse stuff. He was a victim of it. He's speaking out about it now. So I send energy to anybody that can speak out to this issue, even if you were, especially if you're one of those that was doing it, and you're like saying, "Oh, I want to clean the slate." We'll do it. I send energy to you being able to do that, to expose everybody else in this sordid affair that we're dealing with right here. It might be a small portion of the society that's doing this, though it's a little bit larger than you might think, because this is also used to capture politicians, judges, police, priests, business people, anybody that they want to put under their control. Right? They try to use this kind of system, this kind of negative magic, to get them under their control, so that they can continue to do this, so that they look the other way when there's human trafficking going on, or child abuse among the elite. Money talks and everybody else walks. So yeah, I send healing to anybody that's in that system there that can expose these rich bastards that are doing this shit, so that they can be stopped. Stop from using it to blackmail people. Stop from doing it, period. Doesn't matter why you're doing it, what your rationale is for it. It matters not one whit to me. It's that you're using your will and your intent to do something this heinous, this effed up. So I send healing to you, because you are some sick puppies. But mostly I send it to your victims, to the smaller children, the babies that have been sacrificed to their souls, that they may escape the traps that you set for them. To the young children up into the age of 24, for in your abuse ring, your human trafficking, your child trafficking, however you want to term that thing. And yeah, all of that needs to be unveiled, cleared. Shine the light of day upon it. And that's what this energy is going to do. It's going to do that. What I send energy towards whatever will be most effective at stopping this problem, to changing this back into the light, to bring it into the light, and so that it can be healed and stopped. We can stop this reoccurring recycling of this demonic force that we humans have created, maybe long ago, like back to the fall of Atlantis. This is part of what caused Atlantis to fall. Talking about the lost lands, I'm getting that kind of a download on what was going on back then, and as to why things shifted like that so drastically to put an end to that evil. But it didn't get rid of it. That didn't stop it. It just resurfaced again. Either by negative ETs going back in time and redoing, starting it off again. Because it is a great way to control people. It's pretty complete. You get them young enough, you program them, right? You program them to be your victim, and then to be a perpetrator later on, or a groomer, a handler of other kids or people. I mean, this is a big network, really, because it's used not only just for the magic ritual, the energy that you can generate out of something like this. It's not a good energy. I mean, it's not I'd much rather use source energy to create than that energy anytime. And it's also done for political control, right? That's why it's a big thing in Congress, in the Senate. I would say all of them have something. So they always try to get something on anybody that's going to be in power. This is why Donald T. was such a threat to him, is that they realized he didn't really give a shit about what they had on him. He didn't think it was that bad, and it wasn't. I mean, not that I condone the slavery of prostitution. I mean, I don't. It's a bad thing. You shouldn't be using prostitutes. I mean, not that I could say that I'm really that pure that I wouldn't have done something like that in my youth. I probably would have. If there were if those people had been available. But I didn't, and so therefore I guess I can be a little bit more sanctimonious. Or not, you don't need to be sanctimonious. But we do need to lift the veil on this, and we need to realize that this is a pervasive problem that we've dealt with for eons, thousands and thousands of years, tens of thousands of years. And it's high time we quit. Now is the time to quit. Now is the time to stop this. So I hope you will join me in this healing that through prayer, if that's the way you do your thing, through ritual, if you do ritual. Just don't, use any babies or children in your ritual, please. Gonna be kind of counterproductive, I'm just gonna say. And yeah, whatever you can to make this, share this. It would be a good way to help stop it, is to kind of bring some light to it, bring some healing energy to it, because it's definitely something that needs to be healed in the human race, for sure. Alrighty, so I think I've pretty well thrashed that subject to its gruesome end. I apologize to any of you that has been triggered by this, but if you have been triggered, you might examine why. Just might. So I hope you will share this, and yeah, this would be one I would kind of like to go viral, if possible. Know that you are loved by me and the universe. And yeah, let's put a stop to it. Put a stop to it now.